The good thing about having Kenneth Branagh as a director for Thor is that obviously he's Kenneth Branagh. The bad thing about having him as a director is that actors and producers can't really mouth off to him anymore. Because, if he's directing an actor and he's like, okay, I want this and this and this and this is your motivation and this is the light I want in your eyes. And the actor goes, ah, come on, man, this is a superhero movie. It ain't Shakespeare. Let's talk about Thor. I saw the movie yesterday and I liked it. The one thing that I really liked about it is that, with certain superhero movies, sometimes you watch them and you wish, man, I wish this was an R-rated movie, or I wish they would have made it darker or more violent. And not so with Thor. With Thor, being that it's a fairy tale and it has all these fantastic elements, the one thing that I'm happy about is that it's as dark as it should have been. Or if you want, it's exactly the right tone that it should have had. I also really liked something that kind of sets it apart from other superhero movies, like the fact that essentially it's a family drama and you have some very basic elements of conflict here, like, a son's desire to be worthy and the father's desire to have a worthy son, and these things are very easy to understand, and a very masculine movie, if you want, something that a lot of dudes can relate to, I guess. But within this whole family drama aspect, at least lies the biggest problem with the movie for me. Don't get me wrong, I loved Tom Hiddleston in this, and I'm sure that a lot of people are going to walk away from Thor thinking that they're Tom Hiddleston fans because he did such a good job. But in terms of actual motivation for this villain, it was just a little flimsy. It was just a little superficial. When you really get in the middle of the movie and really get to the meat of the story, you realize that there's not much going on in it other than Loki, didn't get enough hugs as a kid or something. I also like the fact that you didn't really feel like they were trying to insert action beats from time to time to try and hold your attention. Maybe this is a direct consequence of the fact that Marvel Studios do not have big budgets at their disposal, but actually you have a really big action sequence right at the beginning to kind of get you immersed into the movie, and then the things kind of slow down a bit. It's still entertaining when Thor is on Earth because the human characters are very likable, most of them, and then for a while your attention kind of shifts from Earth, where nothing is happening, to Asgard, where really nothing is happening, but you get more story details revealed. And then the next big thing that happens is that Thor goes to the S.H.I.E.L.D. compound, but there's nothing really there that you haven't seen before. So the movie doesn't really rely on big action scenes, and I personally like that. I like the fact that they were trying to make the human characters likable. There's some really good scenes in this between Stellan Skarsgård and Chris Hemsworth, and if you've been following Thor at all, and you know that Stellan Skarsgård's son Alexander was a pretty big contender for the part, and it does kind of make you a little bit nostalgic, or I don't know, a little bit not sad, but just kind of makes you think what the movie would have been like if Alexander would have won the role and he could have these awesome scenes with his dad. Natalie Portman as Jane Foster, I liked her, she was cute. I didn't buy her as a scientist, but I love the fact that Jane was very giggly and flirty when Thor was around, because that's the normal reaction to have. A lot of these female leads in superhero movies are kind of more bitchy than they're supposed to be in my eyes, like take Pepper Potts in the Iron Man movies, for instance. But Jane Foster, when you have 6'3" of gorgeousness next to you with pyramid nipples, it's normal to be all I wish I could have seen more characterization for the Warriors 3, or at least see them be more badass. I mean, throughout the movie, I got the feeling that they were more comic relief than anything else. Sif did manage to kick some butt, but I don't understand why Jamie Alexander had to go for that weird fake British accent. I mean, do all Asgardians really need British accents? Come on, America, come on. Anthony Hopkins was great. He had a truly godlike presence, but I don't understand what Rene Russo was doing in this movie. I kept waiting for her to do something more, to say something more, but she never really got anything to do other than just stand there looking godly and then get thrown around when her husband was in danger. So all in all, Thor was good, clean fun. The costume department did an amazing job, and all the actors really believed in what they were saying, even if what they were saying was completely nuts. But the problem that I have with Thor, and it's not a big problem, but still, it really feels like a 2-hour introduction, and I guess Thor needed that, but at the same time, it feels like the preamble to something bigger and better that is going to come either in the Avengers for this character or in the sequels.